I've been trying to figure out infinite ways to do this because I owe Exodus the biggest video in the world. You guys have heard about this, right? You've seen me mention them multiple times in my videos. And look at this. Look at the size of this box. They sent me the biggest love that we ever can. I'm going to have some stuff available for you as well in this video. So if you guys like getting free stuff, getting the chance to kind of explore the game a little bit, I have demo decks. These little bad boys right here. You see these? As well as getting you the chance to get in and explore the game a little bit, because every time I see this at Gen Con every single year, the art pops to me visually. So we're gonna have some stuff to give away. If you guys want to get on some of these giveaways, let's do it. Like, leave a comment down below, like this video, and let's get into, well, the things I have to talk about for Exodus, shall we? Now, I haven't fundamentally had a lot of time to learn a lot of the rules of this game, and I will be doing so. Don't think that this is just reaching out here trying to swindle some people. No, that's not the case. So I wanted to point out a couple things, actually on this poster right here. Look at this for a sec. Okay, so you're walking in a room, and you see some stuff like this hanging out. And you're like, oh, that's really cool. Look at the visual color schemes and the way in which they do this. Look at this. Tell me that does not pop to you. This has been the reason that I have actually had my attention brought to this card game. The little visual appeal and things like that. Look at this. Look at this cute little button they have going on here. Man, autofocus is a real creature. But this is also something that I'll be adding in to the prizes. Now, let's look at the cards, shall we? I think that would be one of the best places that we actually can go here. So, first, I do have some questions I did ask to the publishers of the game, which is, it's run through Existence Games, but the trading card game is formally known as Exodus. So, first up, here's the back of the cards, for those of you that might not be too familiar with these things. Very standard. And then we kind of get a little bit more into the artwork of things here. So this is the first one. This is Victoria's Ultimatron. God, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. But you can definitely see that, like, they do give proper credit to the author down here in the corner. And one of the things that kind of sparks me most about this game is, no matter how rarity or things like that go, yeah, rarity matters in this game. And that's actually the thing that strikes me the most. You can have a holo version of a card and a common version of the card, and there can be interactions with different rarities. Let that sink in for a moment. You're probably just like, huh? You can do that? Yes, you can. So let's continue to look through some of these promos, shall we? So we have, man, the art on this is so visually appealing. So, like, I like this one. This one just hurts the eyes. Like, this is so visually appealing to me. Oh, look at the castle. That is so cool. I don't know, I love the art so much for this game. Like, the promos are so awesome. Woo-hoo. Now, I will formally do a pack opening for this as well. So you guys, don't worry, you'll get the chance to get the starter decks on this video as well. But this is just more or less an introduction video. Like, isn't this stuff so cool? Like, we will do a part 2 formally for pack openings, but of course the website will be down below for Exodus. It's exodus-cards.com. Of course, you guys can follow them on Facebook, check them out. Everything that we just showed off here, these are all promos, by the way. Like, I gotta give it to you, Exodus. Like, if anything else, the color scheme and the appeal that you have done things always continuously draws in new players. Now, this was actually something really cool as well. And I haven't actually opened these up yet. And these, they had their own little magazine for a little while. Now, I'm not really sure what the details were for these. Let's open up one of these, shall we? And kind of just explore what's inside. This game has an interesting rarity called, I believe it's Sketch Rare, because it's mentioned on this book. And I believe the sketch cards are basically kind of the sketch outlines on some of the cards. Ooh. Ah, okay, so we have the starship here. So this is actually the promo you get, which is pretty basic. And then on the flip side, you have this. I believe that this is actually the sketch rare. So this is actually basically the sketch of the card. Now, tell me what other card game out there has this, because I'm waiting. Trust me on this. This is... That is absolutely awesome. Like I said, the art lures me in so much, and this game is a little bit of a timetable for things that's kind of been going on here. This game has been out for a good while, actually. Like, there's a lot going on. And their first set sold out back in... Yeah, looks like they've had a couple of sets sell out so far. Huh. That's very interesting. Now, I have some Q&A here from our friends back at the office, the ones that designed this card game. So let's talk about this. So the first question that I asked was, where can players find events for the cards, and what kind of prizes do these events have? Because 95% of the player base watching this video is going to be like, huh, I kind of like that. Where can I get some of these? So the answer to this question. So we have a store locator on the game's website and an events news column on the Organized Play website. It's very important to understand. Tournament stores signed up on the Exodus-players.com have access to purchasing customizable kits at cost, which contains a month's promo of prize support or enough prizes for 4 events. They also have prizes for sanctioned events, including champion mats, artist signed cards, limited edition sketch cards, which we showed off this bad boy. Look at that. Still one of the coolest things out there. They have buttons and raffles, and all participants will get a promo card just for attending. So something else I would like to show off here. I haven't got the chance to show this off yet. I was going to wait for the pack opening video, but why not do it now? So this is the Exodus trading card game playmat. And this thing absolutely looks beautiful, by the way. I gotta give it to Exodus. Like, if anything, I want to collect the cards strictly based on the art. So that's the first question. So yes, there is localized support available to players out there, which is a very good thing. Now the next one was, what is the frequency of future set releases? How is their release schedule? So a new expansion sets are scheduled to release once every year during the summer. That's right. You don't have to spend money on every set, waiting every 3 months. Nah. You got this one set, bada bing, bada boom. So this is actually one of the cool things I like. So we use the extra time to carefully balance new cards. Since there will never be a ban list or rotation instead of power creep, we have a unique plan to create an endless amount of exciting new effects without making old cards obsolete. Over time, it will also ensure that the competitive environment is never stale. So it's kind of one of the cool things I was talking about with the rarity thing. Yeah, that's actually pretty cute. So I said, point 3 here. Rarity can matter to effects. So effects like that, are they easy to understand? Yes, rarity matters in this game. You can run a flashy rare heavy deck with all kinds of effects, but then you can run the risk of going against something like common flood deck that punishes rares while boosting lower rarities. Let that sink in. it makes me more and more intrigued the more that I fundamentally think about this. Because you can bling this shit out to no avail and then just get punished for something like this. A few cards, like alternate arts or sketch cards, even have a version in several rarities. Oh my gosh. So you're telling me I can have the same card but in 5 different rarities? Okay. So you can actually use that to benefit your deck the most. Rarity effects are easy to understand with a direct reference and card text to the rarity it targets, using either common, uncommon, or rare. There are currently 5 rarities in the Exodus TCG, so let that sink in for a moment for those of you that are wanting to get into this. So it's common, uncommon, rare. Most of us are pretty easy to understand those. Then there's secret rare and harmony rare. But the nice part is you only have to be familiar with the first 3, because anything with rare in its rarity title is simply treated as rare for game purpose. So rare, secret rare, and harmony rare are all going to be in the same category. Rarity on those cards themselves is equally to distinguish at first glance with the system. So up here at the top left, you see my new friend, the sketch rare? Okay, so we have 3 stars up here, okay? Pretty easy to understand. So if you got 1 star up here, it's going to be a common. If you got 2, it's going to be an uncommon. And you got 3, well, our friend is classified as a rare up here. So, unfortunately, same thing even over here on the flip side with the promo, we do have 3 stars. So our friend is in a whole new category of monster. The rarity in the art, man, like, how easy would you say the game is to understand for a new player to pick up? I do also believe that they have a tutorial on YouTube for those of you as well. So the game is extremely easy for a new player to pick up. Anyone who has played a TCG before can learn in 5 minutes, especially if you're using the harmonized starter deck. So something along the lines of these, which I said I'll be getting out to a winner so that they can play with their friends. We've given out thousands of demo decks at conventions, and have seen that most players learn the game in an average of 10 minutes, and that's playing through a full game, not a shortened demo version. Once you get into the booster sets, however, there are tons of options to open up the game, and can get pretty in-depth with timing and advanced rulings. The hardest part for new players to grasp is probably the playback rule, which, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh's replays rule, for example, they allow... this is interesting. They allow for cards owners to retarget another effect that has interrupted a resolve. Players can take advantage of the playback rule when attacking with a creature or triggering an effect. If several card effects are on the stack while waiting to resolve, players can open up crazy combos and fun back and forth style resolution chains, where both you and your opponent can pick new targets for each effect on the stack. So basically the stack is referring to the chain here for those of you that are Yu-Gi-Oh players. This adds yet another skillful aspect to competitive play. It's actually pretty nuts to me. So much like Magic the Gathering, for those of you that kind of explored that game, when you start building your initial chain. So for example, you got Grimro over here trying to attack your opponent, chains Black Sonic, and if you want to activate another effect on the chain that would possibly have an effect to target the Grimro itself, then you can do so within that window. It's actually a pretty interesting thing. Kind of like Magic the Gathering, where like Yu-Gi-Oh forces you to directly chain onto the card that you want to negate. Now, in this instance, you can go, oh, here, I'll go down here to the very first card and negate that first card, thus changing the aspect ratio of the chain. That's actually pretty important to know. So I do think, in terms of noting that, though, that's pretty important to understand. So I gotta give it up for, I like the way that the stack rule interacts with things. The 5th question we have over here: how can players get their locals to pick up the game? Because it's going to be the #1 question I'm asked. Players interested can simply ask their LGS to get product directly from us, as we have wholesale pricing available for retailers. We recommend pointing them to our contact form, which is basically for purchasing directly from them. This is the little BS for the stores. We have had demo kits for stores or organizers to try out. We offer 2 stores free shipping, no minimum order, and free uncut sheets when purchasing sealed cases. Anybody say Uncut Sheet Tournament? The game has previously distributed through major hobby channels such as Alliance and Southern Hobby. This is just the back work here. They recently switched to a direct distribution in the US to better serve our retailers. And then for Singapore and Malaysian players, I know you guys are watching this video right now, we kindly asked that their locals obtain through their authorized distributor, Game Academy. So that's the back end for you guys out there. So let's also have to remember, although we are still a small game company, we want players to know that we're excited to offer amazing rewards to those involved in growing our organized play program. Stores hosting regular weekly events can earn qualifier points, which there's a World Championship for this, guys. You can earn points for that. Remember that. So the World Championships each player, where players can earn exclusive prizes such as getting written into the game storyline or getting a character illustrated in their likeness by an official Exodus TCG artist, or even designing their own dream card to be found in a future set or as a promo. Ladies and gentlemen, why are you not playing this game at this point in time? You can turn yourself into a character in the storyline. Why are you not doing this? This is one of the cool things I always liked about the original Naruto TCG. Players out there did get the chance that if you won an event, you got to be in the story. That's what I love about these games. I actually wish Yu-Gi-Oh! Would do this. Are there promos, question 6, are there promos available for local shops and even playmats for localized events? So yes, many of the prizes mentioned for local events and even larger prizes for Worlds, as we already explained in the previous question, so you do have access to that. Number 7, do you support shops wanting to hold 1K tournaments? This is very important, especially in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community at this point. Everyone and their mother's trying to have a 1K out there, trying to get players into their store and things like that. They said that they've not held a 1K before, but we are easy to work with and do support shops wanting to create custom experiences while keeping events sanctioned. So it's very important as well. They do want to support players wanting to reach out and hold their own events. Number 8, do you ever have opportunities for the community to say, if they win an event, can they design a card? Once again, yes, they do have full opportunity for you to do so. I re-asked this question having looked through the stuff before, because I just wanted to reiterate it. Yes, you can be a trading card in this game. So, should be your ultimate goal. Number 9, are there any card games that you would compare Exodus to for those wanting to play the game? So those of you who enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Will enjoy fast-paced one-on-one style monsters attacking each other. You'll basically if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! You'll be able to quickly pick up the game. Meanwhile, those of you that are familiar with Force of Will's separate deck for energy stones will appreciate Exodus's separate energy deck, although Exodus's separate resource deck concept was designed even before WoW, all the way back in 2011, just before Exodus soft launch in 2012. Unlike a game like Magic the Gathering, theory crafting Exodus doesn't often go the way that you expect on paper compared to what you actually test them out during gameplay, because the gameplay is so different. Says many of the top competitive Exodus players. So that's actually kind of something interesting to know. You know, it's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. If it looks good on paper, it's probably going to play terribly. It's just how it works in this game. And then most aspects of the game are vastly different from any other TCG. It's difficult to compare it to any other game overall, which is why we recommend simply playing the game to try it out. So that's actually very, very good. I actually really like the fact that the TCG company says, try our game. I can't just simply tell you the experience that you're going to feel. And that's very good. And then the last question we had here. The game has been around for 4 years at this point. You have bigger plans going into the 5-year mark, technically. So, the game's been around a little bit longer than that, but officially the game has indeed been out for 4 years now, and it's still on track to release a set every year. We have huge plans going into year 5 to grow organized play in the competitive scene in multiple countries. Okay, that's pretty important. Players in other countries are going to have opportunities for players to affect the game's evolving storyline through guild wars and special events. We are also planning on having a team league session where the main format will be multiplayer for 1 year, including Worlds. We've gotten a lot of requests to develop an online game for Exodus, but to a lesser extent an anime. There are long-term goals we definitely expect to pursue with the players' support in the near future. However, we do plan on adding more features to the game's official website, including an intuitive card database, collection tracking, virtual deck building, and more. We also plan to push the creative boundaries and innovate the new mechanics not found in other card games while still keeping the game balanced and flavor very much Exodus. So I just want you guys to understand that you heard it here first. They are going to be working on the multiplayer format team tournament leading up to Worlds for a season. That's some big news for those of you that are looking to play Exodus. Enjoy your Team League format. Vanguard's done it. Yu-Gi-Oh's doing it next year. The little 3v3 style of events. Because a lot of players need to understand that when you're challenging yourself, you need players that are often as good as yourself. And when you're venturing down these corridors and things like that, you have to understand that you might not be the thing that is bringing your team home. It could be your friend. So, we're going to wrap up part 1 of Exodus here with the Q&A, and we're going to end up doing a set opening. So for those of you that do want in to win these right here, please go ahead and leave a comment down below, like this video. Also, I'm going to have a few other things I'm going to add into the equation as well. We have this cool little button, and you know, who's to say that Robbie doesn't have more things to add into the fire at some point. Definitely we're going to be giving out some stuff on the pack opening video as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Peace out in part 1. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vancol 40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.